Hey everyone, this is Sumit K. So in this video, we are going to build a client, MCP client. So far, we have covered how to use Cloudy Desktop as a client. So where Cloudy Desktop has hosted your client, but now we are going to build the actual MCP client. So how you can integrate within your existing AI LLM agent application. So in my last video, we have covered how to create a MCP server, and it is still running. We have covered the basic weather tool, wherein we have seen how to get the status of get alert and the weather report like this. Here, what we're gonna do, we will create a client and we follow this document. You can find it in the official MCP document. So just click on client developer, and here again we are following the same instructions. So first of all, you need to create a or set up your environment. So you create a project directory using this command uv unit mcp client, and then you create the virtual environment, then you activate it, and then you install the required package using this command like anthropic python dot environment. And then we're gonna create one file client.py. And in this file, what we're gonna do, we'll write the actual code of the MCP client. Apart from this, you will need to set up the Anthropic API key from the Anthropic console, which you can put it in your environment .env files, and then you put your Anthropic key over there. And you also create a git ignore so that this in env file is not be pushed to the repository. So till here, I have already completed all the tasks. If I show you my terminal here, so I'm using the previous directory MCP. Earlier we have covered the weather. This weather directory is basically the MCP servers. So I am running my MCP servers using this weather directory, and then I'm creating the MCP client within the same directory MCP1. So if you look at this MCP1, I have initialized all the directories and the env files over there, and we have a git ignore, and the client py is here, right? So what you need to do here, go back to the documentation. So when we creating a client, this is the breakdown of your entire code, like how to set up the basic client class and then connection management, so all those things. So you can find the full code over here. If you click here, you'll if you just click here, you'll get the entire code here. Just copy this entire code, and I'll explain you in the terminal. Copy this one and put it here. Okay, so let me now explain it to you. So the first thing here is that the key component is we are using the async IO and context lib for managing the async operations and cleanups. And then we are also importing the MCP and studio clients that can be used to talk to the MCP server. Anthropic for the cloud API client, and .env, which loads the environment variables like the API key from the env file. And then we have a called main class, which is called the MCP client, which is a basically prepare the um, cloudy client, and sets up the placeholder for the sessions and asyncs cleanup stack. Then we're gonna connecting to the MCP server using these functions. Connect to the server, basically connect to your MCP server. Remember that your MCP server, we will connect to this MCP server, whether which we have done in our last video. So this is an argument like server script path. So this is the path to your server script, which basically means this is the path of your MCP servers, right? So it use the Python or Node to run the server, because we are using the Python here. So it will use the Python, and then it will initialize the session with the server and prints the available tool. So remember that under weather, when we have created MCP servers, we have used two tools. One is get alerts and another is get weather, right? So that's why when you connect to your MCP server, it will list you some of the tools. Then you have something called process query. So it process a query using a cloudy and available tools. So it handles the user query, it sends the user message to the cloudy, and then it passes cloudy the list of tools available on the MCP servers. So cloudy may reply directly, or it suggests calling a tool with a specific input. So if a tool is used, it's called via MCP, and the result is added to the conversation, and then the cloudy is again called and with the updated context, and all the text response are collected and returned to the this agents, right? And then you have the chat loop. This is the chat loop, which runs an interactive chat loop, which basically runs a command line chat loop, which prompts the user for input repeatedly and sends the input to the process query and print the response. And finally, we are clean up, gracefully close the async context and the connections. And this is the main entry point, which basically the takes the server script with a command line argument, and initialize the client, and then connect to the server, starts the chat loop and cleans up. So everything it will do here. Now let's run this code, but before this, let's go to the documentation here. So here you can also find the explanation of this code, like the client initialization, servers connections, query processing, right? For addition, so everything is there in the document. If you want to understand this entire code, that's very well explained over here. And then finally, you want to run the client. So to run the client with any MCP servers, what you need to do is simply run this client, UV run client. This is the file, client.py, where our MCP client code is there. And then this is the path of your MCP server. Remember the path of the MCP servers we have created in our previous video. So this is the exact path we need to put it here. So how we can do this? We go to the Okay, let's go to the cloudy. I have this cloudy, and here if you go to the settings, and under settings there is a developer and edit config, and if I just open it with the text editor, then this is the path. Let me just note it down, this path. Just minimizing it. So first let's run this. I have copied the path, so it's uv run client.py. So let's type uv run client.py, and this is the path of your MCP servers, right? You can see the path is same, and just enter it here and see it says that it is connected to the server with this tool, right? So our previous MCP servers has two tools, get alerts and get forecast, and it says the MCP client started, and you can type your queries. So the first query, now your MCP client is ready to you take the query from the user. So what will happen when you prompt a query to the MCP servers? So first of all, it connect to the specified servers, which is already connected, and then this client will list the available tools. Then you start enter your queries and see the tool executions. So the first question that we can ask, what are the weather alerts in Texas? So it says that, okay, looks like my query. Okay, All right, so I try to use the another API key, but looks like all my credit balance is very low to access the Anthropic API. Maybe I need to upgrade to, or maybe I need to buy the credits. So, but anyways, if you try it for very first time, if you're not using Anthropic API very frequently, then you should be able to perform this demo. And once you reach here, your MCP client and MCP server should interact and respond to your query. So give it a try, and I believe that you should be all good if you are not running out of your credit balance. All right, so in next video, what we are going to do, we will use examples MCP servers. So right now we have, so far we have covered how to use the Cloudy desktop to host the MCP client, and then we have covered how to create a MCP servers locally on the machine, and then we have also created our own MCP client apart from Cloudy desktop. Next video is going to be on the example MCP servers.